Good morning to all my students. Today we are going to deal with another topic of geography, which is natural vegetation. Natural vegetation, as the term says, it is the vegetation which grows naturally depending upon the soil, the climate, the rainfall of that area. The plants that grow naturally, they are termed as natural vegetation. So, it is very simple. From the very term you understand what is its definition. Now, what are the factors which are affecting it? That is also very clear, because if we go to an area where there is a very heavy rainfall, that area will definitely contain trees which are very tall, which are having broad leaves, which are having a dense vegetation. Even the grasses are very tall, shrubs are also there, bushes are also there, creepers are also there. So, naturally the vegetation is going to be different if the rainfall is very heavy. But if you go to another area which is a desert area where rainfall is very less, in that kind of an area you will find another kind of vegetation which can sustain the moisture of the plant, like broad and thick leaves of cactuses and all. And if you go to cold regions where there are cold deserts, there you will find vegetation like this, which is called mosses and lichens. So, you find mosses and lichens, these are the kind of vegetation which you find in the areas of cold desert where the rainfall is very low, whereas the temperature is also very low. Next we come to classification of forests. Forests are classified for our study into three different categories. We have classified them: tropical hardwood forest, Mediterranean forest and temperate softwood forest, which will deal in details. Now, I will show you a map, and with the help of a map I am going to explain you the tropical hardwood forests. So, here when we come, we have now this green shade, can you see children, green, and this is the red shade, which is dealing with the tropical hardwood forest. When we talk about tropical, we mean that between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, the area which is lying between these tropics will contain tropical forest. So, these forests have a hardwood trees like shisham, sal, teak, neem, rosewood, cinchona. These are some of the trees which have a hardwood, and these are found between these tropics. So, understand clearly children, from 23.5 degree north Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree south Tropic of Capricorn, between these two tropics. And here we find tropical rainforest as well as tropical deciduous forest. Rainforests are the forests which are very dense vegetation, which receives rainfall of more than 200 centimeters. Trees are very tall, they have a dense vegetation, all types of creepers and tall trees and short trees and grasses and bushes, everything is found in one area. And we have deciduous forests, these red colored portion, these are also found in tropical areas. Most of the part of the India has these deciduous forests. Deciduous forests are also called monsoon forest, and these monsoon forests receive rainfall just once in a year, and therefore, they have less variety of trees found here, although they are also categorized with broad leaves and tall trees. Tropical evergreen forest and tropical deciduous forest. They are two types of hardwood forest. Now, what is the difference between them? Evergreen forests are found in areas where rainfall is above 200 centimeters, and deciduous forests are found in areas where rainfall is between 100 to 200 centimeters. Second is, evergreen forests are very dense. So, they have a very dense vegetation. They contain all types of creepers and tall trees and short trees and grasses and bushes, everything is there at one place, and some of these forests are so dense that even the sunlight could not reach the ground. And it contains many kind of animals and reptiles and even mosses and sloth, everything is there in these forests. So, these forests do not have a definite time to shed their leaves. So, they never look dry like in deciduous forests. Deciduous forests are not so dense, and therefore, they shed their leaves at one time during the dry summer season for 6 to 8 weeks. They shed. So, during that time they look all dry. They shed their leaves so that they could conserve moisture, because they are found in areas which are dry. Here the rainfall, this rainfall falls not throughout the year, but rainfall falls just once in a year, that too during the monsoon season. But here 200 centimeters and above rainfall, this forest receives throughout the year. Every day the rain falls. So, there is a difference between these two forests. These are very dense, these are not so dense. They shed their leaves once in a year. They do not have a particular time to shed their leaves. No particular time to shed leaves. And here they shed their leaves during the dry season. They are also called monsoon forest. And these evergreen forests are also called rainforest areas. So, these are 3-4 points to differentiate between tropical evergreen forests and tropical deciduous forests, which are part of tropical hardwood forests. So, you can be asked that differentiate between two types of tropical hardwood forests. So, 1 mark you will get to identify what are these 2 points, and then 1 mark for each point. So, this will make a 5 mark answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 point answer. Here we are going to deal with the Mediterranean forest and the coniferous forest. Coniferous, which is temperate softwood. So, first Mediterranean forests, which are found around the Mediterranean Sea. This is Mediterranean Sea, children, above African continent. Here we have France and Italy and some other parts of, you have Turkey, these are the countries, and northern Africa. So, these are the parts which are having the forests which are typical of its kinds, which contain olive trees and all, which are different from the evergreen forest trees. And why they are different? Because here the climate is different. What kind of climate? Here the summers are very dry and during the winters there is moderate rainfall. This type of black colored portion which is shaded is showing you the Mediterranean forest. We also find Mediterranean forest here in the southern tip of Australia, Perth and Victoria. So, these also having the same type of climate, dry summers and rainfall during the winters. Here also we find in South Africa, we also find in Chile, in South America, and these are some of the areas which are important to be marked as Mediterranean forests. So, these forests I will deal with you in a separate way. Now, we are going to have look into the coniferous forests, which are also called temperate softwood forests, which are marked with an orange colored shade, children. You can see that most of the parts of the Canada and most of the part of the Asian continent, they contain these coniferous forests. In exam, children, this area comes marked and you have to identify the forest. So, this is how this map work comes in your exams. So, here the coniferous forest of North America, this coniferous forest of Russia, of Finland and Sweden, and this is the only area where you find this coniferous forest. Coniferous forests are usually found in areas of high altitude where the temperatures are very low. Next, we have to study from the board. I will explain you these forests. So, now we are discussing about the characteristics of these forests. So, Mediterranean forest, they are widely scattered. The trees in this forest are spread apart. You will find that they are not very dense, and they have a spiny, waxy and a leathery textured leaves that help them to retain moisture during the dry summer season. You remember that these forests, they have a dry summer season and they have a moderate amount of rainfall during the winter. So, that is the type of climate where you find these Mediterranean forests. Then the roots of the trees are very long and they have a thick bark, and the trees which are found here are cork, olive and citrus fruit trees, etc. are found in this Mediterranean forest. Now, we come to the coniferous forest. Coniferous forests are found in the areas of high altitude where the temperature is low, and here the rainfall is usually in the form of snowfall. So, naturally the type of trees are going to differ from Mediterranean, from monsoon forest or from the rainforest. So, here the coniferous trees, they are tall and conical trees, very tall and conical trees, and their leaves are also very thick and needle shaped. Why? Because when the snow falls, it will not accumulate on the leaf when the leaves are needle shaped. So, it will fall down. So, it will not have a harmful effect on the tree. So, the trees have thick needle shaped leaves, that is how they are being surviving. Next we have different types of trees are cedar, deodar, chestnut, walnut, pine, fir, spruce. These are some of the variety of trees which are found in coniferous forest. These trees are of great economic importance because they are used to make ply and plywood and also the paper pulp. So, that is the importance of these coniferous forests. Thank you children for watching the video. Hope you like it and find it helpful for your studies. If you have any doubts, do comment. I will clear it in my next video.